Om Gurureva Gati Gurumeva Bhaje Guru Naiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Na Guru Paramam Shishurasmi Guru Matirasti Guru Mama Pahi Guru सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतः क्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। कृष्ण कृष्ण मुकुन्द जनार्दन कृष्ण गोविन्द नारायण हरे अच्युतानन्द गोविन्द माधव सच्चिदानन्द नारायण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण मुकुन्द जनार्दन कृष्ण गोविन्द नारायण हरे सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः. We are seeing Dashamaskanda, that is the 10th canto in Srimad Bhagavada Purana, and we are seeing the different leelas of Bhagavan Krishna. And in this video also we will see some of the leelas of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. One day, Yashoda Devi was churning the curd. It was early in the morning, and the first thing she will do was to churn the curd. And meanwhile, she kept a pot of milk on the fire and in the kitchen, and she came out and she was churning the curd. The milk itself, it won't boil when we stand near it, but when we go away from it, it will boil and fall over everywhere. So she kept the pot of milk on the fire and in the kitchen, and she came out and she was churning the curd. And always thinking about the leelas of Bhagavan Krishna, all the gopis complying to her. She was thinking about it, laughing inside, and what a child it is. He is such a supreme child, she thought. And she was laughing inside and enjoying all the place of Krishna and doing her work. At that time, Krishna, little Krishna, just got up from bed and he came there rubbing his collyrium painted eyes everywhere on the face. It was so dark in color because of that collyrium kajal. And he came and he was just hungry and sat on the lap of Yashoda Devi, and Yashoda Devi fed him. While she was feeding him, suddenly she remembered that she kept that pot of milk in the kitchen. So that time she heard that sound, that sound. All the milk boiled and it spilled over everywhere. And she just placed Krishna on the floor, on the ground, near that pot of curd, and she ran to the kitchen and she placed the pot of milk on the ground. Meanwhile, what happened was, little Krishna got angry. He got angry because mother did not care for him and she cared for the milk only. So he got angry and he took some object and put a hole in the pot of curd. All the curd spilled over everywhere. And meanwhile, she was churning, no, so there was some butter also on top. So he took that butter, lump of butter, and he ran away. Inside the house, he ran away and he hid somewhere. After some time, he came out and he saw an rice husking mortar, stone mortar there. It will be very heavy, it was there. What he did was, he climbed over that husking mortar and sat on it with that lump of butter. And near that mortar, there were two big Arjuna trees, very big Arjuna trees, some 100 years old, big trees with big trunk. It was adjacent to each other. He sat on that mortar and was admiring all the monkeys sitting on that Arjuna tree. So, seeing Krishna, all the monkeys climbed down, and when they came near him, Krishna put that lump of butter to the monkeys. He fed the monkeys. He gave that butter to the monkeys. All the time he was looking here and there whether mother is coming, and also very scared that someone else will go and report this to his mother. With that fearful face, looking after here and there, and he was feeding that monkeys. What Yashoda Devi did was, she came out after keeping the pot on the ground, pot of milk on the ground. She came out and she saw that all that curd was spilled over everywhere, all that wasted. The pot itself broken, and the Krishna was not there. So she understood this is the work of Krishna, and she got very angry, and she saw everywhere, and she saw that Krishna was sitting on that mortar with that lump of butter and feeding it to the monkeys. That butter, which is so much of hard work, she churned. That butter he is feeding the monkeys. She got very angry. She took someone's stick and she ran towards little Krishna, towards that mortar, to give him a nice slap. What Krishna did was, he jumped from that rice mortar, that stone mortar, and he ran away. And Yashoda Devi was such a hefty woman, fat woman. She cannot run to the speed of Krishna. So she was running and he was running and she was gasping for breath. And he was running here and there all the time, sometimes looking at her face with so fearful, pity face. Sometimes he laughed, and sometimes he was looking so with such a pitiful look he gave to Yashoda Devi. He saw her face with so much of fear, and he pretended to be afraid. And Yashoda Devi thought that, so I don't want to be this child. He was so fearful, so looking at my face so pitifully. So she threw off the stick, and she somehow ran towards him and caught him. So that she has to do some compensation for that beating, isn't it? So what she decided was, she wanted to tie him to that rice mortar, that stone mortar. So she took a rope from nearby and she tied little Krishna to that stone mortar. And Krishna was so patient all the time, looking at her face with such a fearful look. So pitifully, he was looking at her face. And she tried to tie that Bhagavan, that supreme being. Tammatvatmajam avyaktam matyalingamadokshajam Gopikoolukhaladhamna babanda prahridayata. What was Yashoda Devi trying to do? She was trying to tie that Brahman, that one who does not have inside or outside, who does not have after or before, anything like that. He was the all pervading, that supreme being. He was that whole universe itself. He created this Yashoda Devi itself. He created this mortar itself. So she is trying to tie that supreme being who is in the form of the human being, and that Gopi took him as her child. He is both the unmanifest and the manifest. He is the master of the senses, and Gopi, taking him for her child, tied him to the mortar. So when she tied him, okay, when she was about to put the knot, it is 2 inches small. Dvai angulam nyunam, 2 inches small. So she attached some other rope and again tried. Again, Dvai angulam nyunam. Again she tied some other rope and tied again. Dvayangulam nyuna. So all the gopis who were surrounding there, they just laughed at her. What is this, Yashoda? You do not know to tie a knot? And they all laughed at her. But this little Krishna was so fearfully looking at her face. Whichever string she joined, the same. Dvayangulam nyuna. So at last, Everyone was laughing, and Yashoda Devi also burst into laughter. And little Krishna felt pity for his mother, and he just pressed his stomach a little, and she suddenly tied the knot. And that's what they say Srihari always subordinates himself to his devotees. Even though he is that supreme being, he did not, initially, he did not budge for his mother, but finally he gave way for his devotees. And Yashoda Devi tied the knot. So now that Bhagavan, who is the supreme being, is tied to that stone mortar. And she went inside to look after her kitchen work. And yeah, all the ladies who came there also, they also went to do their work. Now, little Krishna was standing with the mortar tied to him. He just looked at that, and at that time, he began to move with that mortar. He moved with that mortar here and there, and he entered in the interspace of these two big Arjuna trees. He entered in the interspace of those two trees, and he could not pull the mortar through that small space. He could enter in, but the mortar won't come because it was such a big stone mortar. So he tried, he could not. Again he tried, could not. Finally he gave a hard blow. He just ran like that, and a big sound everyone could hear. That two Arjuna trees fell on the ground. The tap root of that Arjuna trees was broken, and that tree with that trunk, big branches, leaves, and twigs, it fell on the ground flat. These two Arjuna trees were the two sons of Kubera, the god of wealth, the guardian of wealth. And they were appointed as attendants of Rudra. And one day, along with some celestial women, they were playing some water sports in the river Ganga. And they were completely in an intoxicated state because they were haughty. They had that haughtiness of wealth and the pride that they were the sons of the Kubera itself. So they were completely intoxicated, playing in the water with some celestial woman. At that time, sage Narada, he came that way. Devrishi Narada, he came that way. And when the women saw this sage, they went and hid behind a tree. But these two sons of Kubera, they did not care. They were unclad, and they did not even care to clad themselves by seeing the sage, because they were in a completely intoxicated state, and they were pride of their wealth and their position, their high connection, everything. So sage Narada said, they are ignorant people, so I have to correct them. And sage Narada thought that any person indulging in the worldly enjoyments, the first thing they have is that first bad habit they'll have is their pride of their wealth. Without knowing this wealth is temporary, or what all they have is temporary, they will be so proud of their wealth. So I have to correct them. The first bad habit they will have is they will be so proud of their wealth. Then they will be pride of their high connection, because with money comes everything. They are very proud of their high connection, their appearance, everything. So I have to correct them. They will be so much attached to the physical body without knowing that this body will, after some time, it will disintegrate and go into that primordial state. They are the combination of Panchabhutas. After some time, they will disintegrate without knowing that they are so much attached to the physical body, and that's why they are in this intoxicated state. Narada thought like that. And he thought that if a person is rich, and if he does not have that eye sense or that prideness or anything, then he is really a blessed person. It is very difficult to see any person with wealth, high connection, beauty, everything, without any pride. It is very difficult to see such a person. If we see such a person, then they are really blessed by Bhagavan. He thought like that. So when a person is hungry and when he doesn't have any money, automatically that calmness and that calm behavior will come for him. But if a person is wealthy, then he will have all this prideness of this wealth, high connection, everything. And Narada thought that I am a sadhu, so there is nothing for me. Even if I see them or even if they insult me, there is nothing for me. But these two children of Kubera must be corrected. So I am going to give them a curse to become the tree. But by my grace, they will remember everything very clearly, even if their birth as tree. So let them be trees for some time and observe the world, and let them be born in the Vrajabhumi itself. So when the future, when all the other devas will be born there, Bhagavan Krishna also will be born there. So they will be blessed by Bhagavan Krishna himself. When Bhagavan Krishna touch them, they will be liberated from this state of a tree, this birth as a tree, and they will attain the higher state. Like this, sage Narada itself thought, and sage Narada thought, and he thought that let them have the memory of their previous state, that is the state of the son of Kubera. Only then they can transform. It will be easy for their transformation, what all wrong they did. If we remember all that from our past life, what all mistakes we did, and because of that only we are suffering now, then it will be easy for some people to come over it, isn't it, to transform themselves. But we don't remember anything. But by the blessing of sage Narada, these two sons of Kubera, they remembered everything. And at the end of 100 divine years, they will be blessed with the association with Lord Krishna. That is Lord Vasudeva, he said. And sage Narada disappeared. So immediately they were born as Arjuna trees in the Vrajabhumi. Now they remembered everything, and these two big trees fell on the ground when Bhagavan Krishna, little Krishna, he dragged that stone mortar in the interspace of that two trees. Their taproot was broken and they fell. The two trees fell down. And immediately two celestial beings dressed in white in color, they emerged from the trunk of that big Arjuna trees and they worshipped Bhagavan. They said, Krishna Krishna Mahayogi Swamadhyah Purushah Parah Vyakta Vyaktamitam Vishwam Rupam Te Brahmana Vituhu. Oh Krishna, you are that supreme yogi, you are transcendent, you are that supreme being, you are that first Adhya Purushaka, you are that first Purusha, you are Paraha, you are that supreme being, you are both the instrumental cause as well as the material cause of this universe. You are, that is this subtle and gross condition of this world, they make your body. त्वमेव सर्वभूतानां देहास्मात्मेन्द्रियैश्चरः त्वमेव कालो भगवान् विष्णोरव्यय ईश्वरः त्वं महान् प्रकृतिः सूक्ष्मा रजसत्त्वतमोमयी त्वमेव पुरुषोऽध्यक्षः सर्वक्षेत्रविकारवित्. You are that one without a second. You constitute the body, the pranas, the ahankara, the indriyas of all beings. You are that Bhagavan Vishnu who is all pervading. You are that Kara, time itself. You are that eternal one. You rule over everything. You are that subtle Prakriti which is constituted of the three gunas and its effects, the Mahat Tattva, and its evolutes. You are that Supreme Purusha, the witness of all this. You are the witness of the movements of Prakriti. गृह्यमानैस्त्वमग्राह्यो विकारैः प्राकृतैर्गुणैः Kaun viharhati vignatum praksiddhim guna samvritah. You cannot be apprehended by the modifications of Prakriti like the manas, buddhi, ahankara, or the senses, anything. They are all the modifications of Prakriti. You cannot be apprehended by all this because you are the source of everything. Even the jiva is your reflection. So you came before that, so no one can find you, no one can apprehend you, or no one can understand you. Tasmai tubhyam bhagavate vasudevaya vedase atmadyota gunaishanya mahimne brahmane namaha. Salutations to you, Vasudeva. You are possessed of all these divine glories. You are the creator, you are that Brahman. Your glory is hidden behind the gunas of Prakriti because you are the origin of everything. So no one can understand you. Nama Parama Kalyana. You are that supreme good. Salutations to you. Nama Parama Mangala. You are that supreme auspiciousness. Vasudevaya Shantaya. Yadunam Pataye Namaha. Yadunam Pataye. You are the Lord of the Yadus. Salutations to you. Vasudevaya Shandaya, you are that Bhagavan Vasudeva who reside in all the being, and you are that peaceful being. Salutations to you. These two celestial beings, they are the Guhyakas, and they just worshipped Bhagavan. And Bhagavan said that because of your association with Narada, or because Narada cursed you, you are in this supreme state. So it was not a curse, actually, it was a blessing for you. Or otherwise, you would have not attained this present spiritual state in many hundreds of years. So, because of his curse, only you were able to attain this higher spiritual state. And Bhagavan gave permission for the two sons of Kubera, Nalakubhara and Manigriva, to ascend to their own realm. And they worshipped Bhagavan, prostrated in front of him, worshipped him, circumambulated him, and they just ascended to their own realm. So this was one of the very famous prank or play of Bhagavan Krishna, where Yashoda Devi tied him to the stone mortar, and by that only he released, or he liberated the two sons of Kubera from their state of being trees. They were there in that Raja, land of Raja, for hundreds of years. So in my next video, I will come up with some more leelas of Bhagavan. Om Namo Narayana Khila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.